Peace in, peeps! What big pile of shift are we going to dig into today? I'm Steph, and welcome to Steph's Shift Show, the place where headlines meet the heart, where heroes remind us what's possible. Here we uncover hidden biases, call out broken systems, and shine light on bold solutions. Because shifting the conversation is how we build better people, stronger communities, and lasting personal peace. Hey peeps, welcome to another episode of Steph's Shift Show. Unpredictable. I showed up today all sparkly and shiny and not in my everyday black. And why is that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just unpredictable. Are you? We're going to talk about patterns and predictable behavior and being intentional to shift and maybe become unpredictable. I don't know how many of y'all are Chiefs fans. I'm here in Kansas City, and we love those Kansas City Chiefs, and we love the trick plays. My son and I will watch replays of all of the funny, crazy trick plays that the Kansas City Chiefs will do. Like they'll run around, and it's just so fun. And why? Because it is unpredictable. You don't think that the football players are going to turn into this circle and almost look like they're doing a little dance. And the next thing you know, Travis Kelce's catching it in the corner of the end zone from someone who's not even Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. I don't know. But it's unpredictable and it is fun. And it throws off the other team. Yay! So today we're going to talk about patterns, how humans live in patterns, how they make us feel comfortable, and how maybe shifting into being intentional to be a little less predictable will improve your brain and your energy and your focus. So I've got some fun science and stats for you today. And I want to share with you, I was really inspired. Yesterday, I went out and I played pickleball. I got invited to play pickleball for an hour and a half with people whose pickleball game is many levels above my own. But I love to play, and I'm decently athletic, and I can show up and at least have fun. I just always want to make sure, hopefully, it's fun for the other people. So I made a comment and said, hey, thank you so much for letting me play with you guys and for your patience with me and my playing level. And one of the other players said, oh my gosh, absolutely. And you did great. You and your shots are unpredictable. And that helps us level up our game because we don't know where the shots are going to go. And we have to be a little more on our toes. And I love that I got that feedback. And I'm obviously so gracious to have played with really kind people. But I was like, that's true. My unpredictable shots gave an opportunity for other people to go, all right, I got to be a little bit more on my toes and I got to adapt. So as I dig into the science behind unpredictable behavior, I really found how it enhances our lives. And we are here on Steph's Shift Show to have these micro segments. I try and keep them all, 10, 15. Sometimes when Stella's with me, they're more like 20 minutes, but there's a million podcasts out there you can be tuning into. And a lot of them are an hour plus long. I'm intentional to hopefully give you short little nuggets, some stats, some research, and how this might show up in your life and how you can choose to shift in the moment, in the day, to create days with more yays and less yucks. Period. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it sticky. And let's keep it fun. And being unpredictable can definitely be fun and really create some like magnetic energy. Here's some science behind why we might want to lean into being a little more unpredictable. One, a Stanford neuroscientist found that novelty, newness, releases dopamine and norepinephrine and boosts focus and motivation. Awesome. Who wants to boost their focus and motivation? Yay. Okay. There's also, from the Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews in 2020, shows that new unpredictable experiences stimulate your hippocampus. And by stimulating your hippocampus, you have better memory and more learning. So we're benefiting your brain when we are choosing unpredictable behaviors. Okay, yay, let's keep going. From Cornell University, an emotion and flexibility study that was published showed 60% improvement in cognitive flexibility when you're exposed to unpredictable patterns. 60%, people, cognitive flexibility. I turned 50 this year, keeping my brain sharp, sharp, sharp. So important. So if that just means I need to be a little more unpredictable, awesome. I just got some data and science to prove it. I'm going to keep being intentional, especially if my cognitive flexibility is increased by 60%. That is such a yay. I gave the example about the Kansas City Chiefs and their trick plays. This is a real study. Random practice effect improves adaptability and performance. Athletes train unpredictability on purpose. Think about that. They train to play these trick plays to put into place on purpose, because predictable players, of course, they're easier to beat. You kind of know their moves, their routes. But unpredictable players, they're harder to track or react to. Yay, that's called the random practice effect. So practicing randomness improves adaptability and performance. Also a yay. And in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, physical unpredictability increases your divergent thinking. So we've talked about the importance of critical thinking and creativity and curiosity. So it sounds like if you and I shift to becoming a little less predictable, we're improving our memory, our brain, our focus, our thinking, our adaptability, our performance. Come on, peeps, join me, because most people live in loops of patterns, of consistency, of the same choices, the same routines, the same outcomes, the same responses, the same food, the same colors, the same routes. You get it. We all do it. Humans tend to live in loops. Predictability is safe, sure, but it can make life stagnant, maybe even a little boring. Contentment's great. Consistency is great. But we just learned what unpredictability can do, which also sounds great. So why do we have to do one or the other? What if we can do both? Predictable will keep you comfortable. Great. Unpredictable will help you grow. Also great. Let's choose both. Again, my example was like at pickleball. I got the feedback that my unpredictable shots, my unpredictable play, the way that I play the pickleball game, especially with players that I hadn't played with before, that was new for all of us. And so it actually increased the brain for all the players without really even knowing it. So you don't have to be polished. You just have to be unpredictable enough to kind of shift up your game. And that's a-okay. So I want you to think about having the intentional mindset around the phrase of surprise yourself today. Surprise yourself today. Lock it in. What did I do to surprise myself today? What did I do to surprise myself today? And if you're around others, probably whatever you're doing to surprise yourself, it may surprise others. And yay, we just heard all of the brain benefits to being unpredictable. Let's stick with it. Say yes to something new. Say no to something that maybe you always say yes to. That's a shift. Change up your routine. Change up your wardrobe or your armor of protection. Be intentional to shift into unpredictable behavior, peeps. Because I would love for you to have a little more fun and days with more yays and less yucks. And also benefit your life. So think about ways you're going to surprise yourself today. Maybe put that reminder around you somewhere that you can see for the next week or two until it kind of becomes natural for you to become more unpredictable. All right, peeps, have fun with that shift. Thanks for tuning in. Peace in. Thanks for joining us today on Steph's Shift Show. If today's conversation sparked a thought, a laugh, or a shift in perspective, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your circle. Together, we can shift the story, build better people, and create more personal peace. Peace in, peeps. See you next time.